English spelling is in desperate need of a reform. It is too chaotic and desynchronized from everyday speech. So I, as the only person in existence who can be correct, am proposing a spelling reform based on my own dialect of English for everyone to use. Why my own dialect? Because as I mentioned before, I am the only person who is correct, and anyone who disagrees shall be tried and crucified by my loyal servants Aditopian and Cat Mistberg. Just ask my old confidant Kate the Pamphlet, who dared try taking Karlach from me in our BG3 campaign. So in this video, I will showcase my 3 proposals for better English orthography. The first is to keep the Latin script that has been used for centuries, just update it to better reflect English phonetically. Let us start with the vowels. The schwa will be written with A, while the rest of the lax vowels are written with their general Latin vowel, with the addition of ampersand for a and o for aw. For the tense vowels, J is appended after I and E, while O takes a chevron over an O. The diphthongs I and oi are represented with the digraphs AJ and OJ, while the diphthong AU is written with the digraph AU. Now you might be noticing that missing from this list of vowels are the backgrounded vowels, and the glyph U. The reason for this is that U represents the sound sequence U, while the lax takes an acute and tense U takes a chevron. However, when starting a word with no consonant beforehand, U gets spelled as JU. Moving on to the consonants, these follow closely to their current counterparts, some notable exceptions being the abandonment of K, because why keep such a classless letter that even the Romans have abandoned, as well as the addition of thorn and eth, used to represent the voiced and voiceless distinction of the dental fricatives. The post-alveolar palatals are also marked, with dots above C and G for the affricates and dots below S and Z for the fricatives. For ya, it is represented with J, as is proper and the only way ya should ever be written. Finally, the velar nasal, when not followed by a velar, is written as G tilde. When followed by a velar such as in sink or finger, then it's just a regular G, much like in Greek. And that's the updated Latin alphabet. The only other rule to remember is that words need to be written with their full form. This really only affects words such as the articles and prepositions. So the is spelled eth-ij, even when reduced such as in the man. All nouns are also capitalized by default. So with that said, here's the reform used in a text. However, writing so much is so cumbersome. You know what isn't cumbersome? Abjads. So I decided to use the Arabic script. So here it is. For the consonants, there are a few things to note. First is that kaf is always in swash form. Ya doesn't have the 2 dots when in final or isolate form. Finally, qaf is used for nga. Why? Because I have a crucifix ready, and Kate and Addy ready if you refuse. That's why. For lax vowels, things are slightly more complicated. Lax vowels are unmarked, while long vowels and diphthongs are. Ha and ain are used for A and O respectively. Long U when word final takes an aleph after waw. Ya when used for a vowel when more than 2 characters away from a non-collecting letter, then it bends back and underneath the previous characters. Aside from all of that, there are a few word-specific things to keep in mind. The definite article is represented with za, while the indefinite with aleph plus nun. This holds true no matter the stress. Single-syllable particles and prepositions attached to the following word, while definite articles lose za and dhal is appended to the preposition. Finally, identical consonants that are separated by a lax vowel is written once with a shadda above. But this doesn't feel good enough. Don't get me wrong, I did amazing, and this is already better than our current system, but I think there are ways to improve it. Or one way, specifically, to use Chinese characters. Except I'm only going to use them for content words. And there. Perfection.